Hello, welcome to the Fighting Fantasy playlist. My name is Adam, and in today's episode, we're talking all about Stormslayer. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get all my Fighting Fantasy videos, and click that bell to make it ring just under the video, and you'll get notified of when I release all my Fighting Fantasy videos. Stormslayer is book number 4 from the second series of Wizard, released in 2009 by author Jonathan Green, and the front cover illustration and all the interior artwork were done by Stephen Player. I'm a bit biased towards Stephen Player because I personally know him, but he is a fantastic artist. All the pictures in this book are really good, and there's loads of them. The book is quite thick, not your traditional size for a fighting fantasy book, but there are only 400 entries inside this book, but all the illustrations are really fantastic. As I said, I am biased. So let's read the back of the cover and let's see what the adventure is all about. The book you hold in your hands is a gateway to a world in which you are the hero. You decide which route to take, which dangers to risk, and which creatures to fight. But be warned, it will also be you who has to live or die by the consequences of your actions. There are dark powers at work in the kingdom of Femfrey. Magic more fearsome than you have ever seen has somehow harnessed the destructive might of nature. With time running out, you must uncover the oldest truths about the lore of the elements. Only then can you command the earth, wind, fire, and water, and venture into the terrifying Eye of the Storm. Now, it's quite funny that it says Eye of the Storm there, because this book was actually going to be released during the Puffin era. It was originally slated to be something like book 61 or something, but obviously the Puffin era ended with Curse of the Mummy, and this book kind of got shelved, and back then it was called Eye of the Storm. I guess they renamed it to Stormslayer because of copyright issues, I don't know. But the book is a very interesting read. There's a lot of first time things that happen within this book, and I'll show you what I mean straight away. When you first open up the book, you have a list of all the Wizard releases, like they used to do with the Puffins. A list of all the Wizard releases. Of course, they're not in their original Puffin release order. There is a completely new ordering system for the titles. But when you get into the actual book itself, you have a how will you start your adventure section. Now, this is basically addressing and trying to find out if you are a new adventurer to the Fighting Fantasy series, or if you are a veteran reader who knows exactly what to do. And if you are a veteran reader and you know exactly what to do, you literally turn the page to start the adventure. There's no adventure sheet, there's no rule system, there's nothing. You literally are straight into the action if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, if you are new to the series, then it basically tells you to head towards the back of the book. And just like, you know, the Puffin released ones, there were only 400 entries in this, but afterwards you have all the ruling information, all the mechanics of how to play it, the adventure sheet, are all at the back of the book. And this is the first time as well, apart from the re-release of Howl of the Werewolf, where you're not allowed to now create your own character, and you have to choose from one of 3 preset characters, which is a little bit of a good and bad situation, because it removes the cheating aspect where you could just literally create any number and go like, oh, I've got 12 skill and 24 stamina, and so you're set to these. But it also kind of takes that fun away of the element of chance, where when you roll the dice, you really could have a really good character, or you could have a really rubbish one, but it was completely random, and that's kind of like a little bit of the fun. But the characters are quite good because they have like an origin story, they have a name, but they have already pre-selected equipment, gold pieces, provisions. And another thing you have to keep track of is days of the week, which I think is quite a fun element inside the book. If you turn to the adventure sheet, you can see that it's quite different. You have the days of the week here that you have to keep track of, and then your adventure sheet here, which is somewhat laid out differently but has the same elements within. Now the story itself is really fun. I found it really engaging. Probably not as good as Howl of the Werewolf, the previous sort of release for the original stories, but it was real entertaining and I will go back to it. It was quite quirky, quite different, and it reminded me a lot of like almost like a superhero movie, but you're battling, instead of battling like, you know, an evil entity or something like that, you're battling the elements of nature, and I thought that was really cool, almost like Game of Thrones with the White Walkers. But let me know what your thoughts are on this book. Put it down in the comments below, and let me know how your adventure got on. And next time we're going to go through the next original Wizard release with Night of the Necromancer. Don't forget to hit that bell to get all my videos about Fighting Fantasy, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye bye.